Hello, Governor's Cup student participants for the semifinal round of the Governor's Cup. My name's LB Hudson. I'm helping the Governor's Cup this year with things around judge coordination and some several resources for you as students as well. Thrilled to be working with Arkansas Capital Corp and Tiffany to provide you some extra resources and some helpful tips. I wanted to record this video today to share with you some things to anticipate ahead of your semifinal presentation, as well as share with you some helpful tips for your presentation so that you are as successful as possible. I want to share what the Governor's Cup is. You know this, you submitted a written plan, but this really is a real world entrepreneurial educational opportunity. A lot of resources go into this from sponsors as well as our volunteer judges. Very thankful for the sponsors that make this possible and to the volunteer judges who are reviewing, scoring, evaluating, and deliberating on your plans. And then the bottom line, an all cash prize pool of over $136,000 is up for grabs for you as student competitors. Congratulations are in order. And I just want to state this, that the competition is fierce, and this is a competition. There were over 60 plans submitted this year for the Arkansas Governor's Cup. That is a very large increase from last year and a very, very large increase from just 2 years ago. So 62 plans, but you are a semifinal participant. Only 30 plans made it to semifinal presentations. So congratulations to you on your hard work, on being selected in the top half of that. This competition truly is turning into a best of the best from colleges and universities in Arkansas and the surrounding states, and the best of the best of some of the entrepreneurial minds and spirits that we have in you as college students. Your work has not gone unnoticed up to this point, but this is a competition and it's time for the semifinal round. Some details on your virtual presentation. Your team, from the time slot that you are assigned, you have 15 minutes to make an uninterrupted presentation, followed by 10 minutes of Q&A from the judges. Each team is encouraged to utilize a PowerPoint or some other type of presentation material. You should have slides ready to go. This visual presentation details, this is straight from the guidebook that you have with the guidelines around this. Feedback, feedback, feedback. We worked really hard in the written round, the written plan round, for those written plan judges to provide you feedback. Every single plan has feedback from every single judge this year. That plan includes things that you did right. It may include some feedback and things that you need to improve on your plan. I highly recommend you taking in that feedback and implementing that into your virtual presentation. So go and view that on Unoodle. If you need help getting access to that, please reach out to me or Tiffany. We will get that information to you. The semifinal presentation evaluation. This is the exact same slide that I am sharing with the semifinal judges. So I'm giving you a little bit of a hint here as to what you are evaluated on. This is exactly what you were evaluated on for your written plan, but this is presenting that information, not just the written aspect of it. So it's your executive summary. Are you clearly stating what your business is and the idea and what it is about, the problem, the solution, the customer and idea validation, all of these elements. I do want to highlight the appendices. The appendices is where your financial statement information should be located in your plan. You should mention your financials in your presentation. You should have at least a 3 to 5 year income statement as stated by the guidelines. You should have details on your cash flow. If you provided a full statement of cash flows or a complete balance sheet, you want to address those in your presentation. The exit strategy portion, that is for the high growth division only. That should have been included in your plan. You should touch on what your exit strategy is. If you're in the small business and lifestyle track and you have an exit strategy, You are not deducted any points. If anything, you've gone above and beyond. But if that's in your written plan, you should address that in your presentation. The overall effectiveness. This again, I've just changed a little bit of the language. This is in the guidelines, but the plan, or in this case, the presentation, includes all the necessary topics. Are you addressing all those? Were the topics clearly explained, and were you persuasive? And the third point on this is that the story was compelling. You, as students, you are telling a story. You should really dive into the fact that you are presenting this as if this business is going forward and that you are the person and the team members to make this company a reality, to make this a successful and profitable venture. That is what the judges are looking for. The overall effectiveness, a very important thing that you are scored on and evaluated on. Some helpful tips for your presentation. I'm going to go through each of these line by line and just give you some details as to what I mean when I say these points. Practice makes perfect. You cannot practice enough. You should know this presentation that you're going to present for 15 minutes in your sleep. And again, this is a 15-minute presentation. That's not 16 minutes, it's not 17 minutes, and it's not 10 minutes, it's 15. Highly suggest you use all of the time allotted available to you to tell your story, to tell your narrative. Also remember, you're telling that story. So keep that in mind when you're presenting, be persuasive, and then rehearse, rehearse, rehearse again. Keep this in mind. You have a lot of resources available to you as a college student. When you're practicing, when you're presenting, maybe you want to practice pitch to your peers. If you're not in a business school, I suggest you go to the business school on your campus, find some students that you could practice pitch in front of that will act as judges and ask you really hard questions. You may want to take advantage of the faculty member or advisor to your plan and pitch in front of them as well. Double and triple check your technology and how you are sharing your presentation. You want that to be as seamless as possible. So practice that. Be sure that your technology is working. I know that technology just messes up sometimes. We are going to be working with you to make sure that that works very flawlessly. You will not be deducted if a technology mishap happens. So just be prepared though, because you don't want to get started and then have your slideshow stop. Be prepared to sign in about 5 minutes prior to your presentation beginning. So keep that in mind as well. Be ready in advance time. Prompt the judges for questions. So when your 15 minutes is up, you should address the judges that you are ready to receive questions from them. The judges are going to ask you questions. You might get a lot of questions from one judge. You might get a lot of questions from all of the judges who are there for your virtual presentation. But prompt the judges for those questions. Also, not a bullet point on this slide, but the judge list is made available to you. That's made available to you through an Airtable link that Tiffany has sent out. She'll be sending that out. If you need that link to who the judges are, please email me or Tiffany. We will get you that link. You should know who you're presenting to. This is part of being an entrepreneur. It's part of owning a business. Know who you are presenting to. Know who you are trying to convince that this business can be a reality. And so know their background because that'll help you better understand maybe some of the questions they might ask to you. And lastly, be ready to defend your plan. The judges are going to give you feedback. They are going to be positive to you, but they might ask you some tough and hard hitting questions. We've got a great group of semifinal judges. These are very seasoned business owners. These are people who some have even gone through this competition before. They may ask you a pretty tough question. You should be ready to defend that question. How do you defend these questions? You defend them by storytelling. You also defend them with data. Be ready to support questions with numbers. So those numbers should be in your plan. Feel free to refer to those as well. These are just some helpful tips I have for you as you are preparing to present on February the 25th. I am very much looking forward to hearing some of your presentations as well. I've enjoyed seeing the written plans up to this point and very happy that you have all made it to the semifinal round. Lastly, my contact information, my email is lb@myfinancialsnapshot.com. And then I've also included Tiffany's email. If you have any questions before February the 25th, please feel free to reach out to me. Would love to help you, Tiffany as well. We are here to help, here to make you have a great experience at the semifinal round. And lastly, there's 10 teams in each track. So 30 teams are presenting on the 25th to 3 different panels of judges, and only 6 teams from each track will go forward to the finals, which takes place April the 13th through April the 15th of this year. So we've got another round of cuts coming. Bring your A game, bring the best of the best, be ready to present. Excited to see you. Look forward to seeing you. Hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.